What's up, guys? I wanted to try something new with the camera. So I got a neck mount for my Action 2, I think, camera. So I wanted to kind of do like a rebuild for the power steering. A lot of people have been rebuilding these, and I want to do the same just because I will be using a used power steering that came off the car, and I don't want to put, something that's been used and abused for a while, and it's pretty dirty, and I want to just go ahead and rebuild it just for the sake of it, and just so that way that for future wise, I don't ever have to worry about being start leaking, seals are bad, or something internally goes bad. So I want to do a tear apart video basically, and then I'm still waiting on the internal bearing for the power steering. The kit I got is this kit from Rockauto. That is the part number. And with this kit, you get everything like seals, the O-rings, and all that stuff that you need. So what it doesn't come with is a bearing. And I should have maybe just ordered it from Toyota, the whole kit, but I think it was expensive. I didn't really check the price like in depth, but I know when I looked at Napa, it was like $45 or so. And for the kit. So I bought both these two kits for what, $40 or something like that. So and I always buy in pairs for some reason, just because like when I go to install it, if something goes bad, like where the seal, if I put a seal on and it ends up being bent or damaged or something like that, I have an extra one just as a backup to get that installed. It's just something that I've always done, is I always bought in pairs for some reason, and I end up not using it. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. But yeah, that's pretty much what I do. So I want to start taking this apart. I want to take this bracket out first, which is for the power steering. And once I get the bracket out, we can go ahead and start taking out these bolts. There's 4 bolts here. I believe they look like 10 or 12 millimeters. Let me see. Is it 10? It's not 10, so it's a 12. So it's 12 millimeters. So I'm gonna go ahead and start taking these out. I need to take this out. I don't need this bolt on here because we will not be using this. But we will be using this. I'll just set it aside. This is very, very dirty. So let me start with what is this? Is this 12 as well? Because I'm going to use the power tool to get this out. This is a 14. So I might need a impact. 14. I need a big boy. Okay, it's out. Okay. Leave this here, put that there. And this I already undid, which is a 14 as well. Okay, you don't want to come out. God damn. All right, let me set this on the floor. This bracket should just pop out. It's very, very dirty. As you can tell, my whole glove is already black. The towel is all black. Everything's turning black. Now that we have this apart, there's a C-clip right here that I need to take out. But before I do that, I want to take these out because we don't need to have some of this stuff. This is out. Okay, I should remember these 2 small ones and 2 big ones. And I believe this, yeah, this is what pushes up. So I gotta make sure I mark these. So there's an O-ring in here. This is my first time doing it, so I'm learning as I go. There's an O-ring in there. I gotta save this, which goes like that. Yeah, this comes out. This, however, from based off what I watched, I have to be very careful because there's some, whatever these metal pieces are called. There's like 10 of them, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They go back exactly how they are on there. Let me clean my hand. And I have to really, really, really clean. Okay, so this comes out. And just put it back. Okay. As I was saying, put it back exactly how you took it out. They already came out. Wonderful. Okay, I guess just fall out. Okay, supposedly these things go back exactly how they come off. There's a, I guess there's a smooth side and there's a rough side. I have to figure that out once I clean everything. I got to make sure there's 10 of them because when I took it out, they fell out. So one, two, three, four, five, six, 7, 8, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, there's 10 of them there. So that's that. Then you have this metal gasket. Let me Oh, come on. This is frustrating. Okay, so that's out. And I believe I just need to tap this a little bit and it'll come out. And it is out. Cool. So there is a C-clip right here. I don't know if it's being captured in the camera. So this what holds the bearing in place. I guess it doesn't allow it to go below a certain point. That gets replaced. This bearing I'm waiting from Toyota to come. This was like $45. But if you look at elsewhere, this bearing is about $75 or so. I called the one near me was $75. I called Elmhurst, or I ordered from Elmhurst. It was $45 after like taxes and everything. So I'll leave a part number in the description as well as a part number for the Rockauto. I believe that's pretty much it. I don't know if these come out, but the seal comes off as well. That's in here. Let me see if I can get a light on here. There's a seal in there that you got to take out. So let me see if I can get that out without damaging anything. So seals out, this is out. I'm just inspecting. Just checking over everything, make sure everything is there. There's supposed to be an O-ring. Okay, so there's an O-ring in here. There's an O-ring in there. This you got to keep. Please do not throw this away. This goes on a certain way, I guess. I got to clean all this up. I got to clean this up, which I don't know how I'm going to clean it up. I believe there's no O-ring in here, because I know there's an O-ring in here, which I believe also came with the kit. Yeah, so I'm pretty much waiting for the bearing at this point, because I can technically clean this up with some brake cleaner as much as I can, and then from there, show you what the kit comes with. Comes with the gasket, the big one, big O-ring for this piece. Where is that piece? Which is on here. which is on here. You got 2 copper washers. I believe those are for the bolt for this particular one if you're using the factory one, right? Which I'm not going to be. I'm going to be using an AN fitting. Then you have your seal, which is that one. You got 2 small O-rings, I believe. One is for this one right here. Then there's this C-clip, whatever ring, whatever you want to call it. It's on here. It's on the bottom over here. To get this out, I believe I'm gonna need to just like pretty much put it. I'm gonna try to put it on here, but and I'm just gonna hammer it and push it up so this pushes down. So that's what I'm gonna need to do. Well, I'm gonna try that off camera because I never tried it, so don't want to mess that up on the camera. And then there's another O-ring down here which goes on that bottom piece over here. So that's pretty much it for the kit. Let me try this actually on camera, see if I can get it out. I'm gonna tap it just slightly. Okay, it's not even moving, so it's on there pretty good. I'm gonna need to press this out, which I'm not sure how I'm going to press it out because my press is no longer working, so I threw that in the garbage. So I'm not sure how I'm going to get this out. I might have to heat this up a little bit and put some WD-40 just to loosen that up a little bit, or grease that up, because I have a feeling this is seized up a little bit from, over time. But I need to first start cleaning up everything and we'll go from there. But that's pretty much it for now. When I start doing the rebuild, I'll continue this video, all right? All right, guys. So I figured I start the installation process. It's been a couple of weeks or so now. I had to wait on this bearing from Toyota for it to be available for me to pick up. I ordered this back in February, I believe the 9th. And today is the 28th, so it took a couple of weeks or so for me to get this bearing. I don't know what the holdup was, but I ended up ordering another bearing from eBay, which I'm also waiting on that. I believe that's coming from Japan. But yeah, for some reason, these bearings are very hard to get a hold of. So if you're planning on rebuilding your kit, make sure you order this bearing in advance if you don't get a bearing with your kit. I ordered my kit from Rockauto, so the bearing was not in there. But yeah. Keep that in mind if you're planning on replacing your bearing, or I highly recommend you replacing your bearing if you are replacing your rebuilding your pump, just because you want to make sure you have everything nice and clean and brand new. So with that being said, let's get started. The way I want to start approaching this is I want to go ahead and get the bearing on this shaft. I'm just going to grease it up a little bit. And I am not replacing this C-clip. One, I don't know how to take the C-clip out. And number two, it moves freely, so I don't think there's any going to be an issue with this in the future. So hence the reason why I'm not going to take this out and try to replace the one with the kit. I'm just going to grease this up a little bit, grease this inside just because I'm going to hammer this in a little bit. I no longer have my press, so I'm just going to tap, tap, tap. So what I'm going to do is, now you don't have to do it my way. I'm doing it this way just because I don't have my press anymore. Where is my hammer? And don't mind my mess. I have a lot to clean here. What did I drop? What the hell did I drop? Okay, so now what I'm going to do is So it's not, I just need a little more. Let's see, now the C clip stops it. I don't know if you can tell in the camera, but the C clip over here stops the bearing, so that's where it needs to be. So the next step is I'm gonna go ahead, get this opened. I still gotta figure out what the hell I dropped there. I don't know if it was the old bearing or what, maybe. So this is a new bushing was it called a bushing, a seal. So I'm just gonna grease a little bit on the outside, just because this also needs to be hammered in. Make sure you grease everything, just so that the installation process goes smooth. I'm just gonna do the inside a little bit. Now I do have to find a socket that will fit this, which I should have done before I started this. So now the fun begins. Okay. So let me grease this also. I did grease it a little bit earlier just to get it ready. Okay, so that's in. Just check. Not sure if I can push this even more, but let me just try, just to double check. I guess you can push more. So push it in more a little bit. I can't recall how much of this goes in, but it's nicely seated. Okay, I guess it goes more. So I think I'm gonna stop there because I don't want to. I can't recall exactly how far this goes in, but let me grease this area, because the next step is to push this baby in, and then I gotta find something that'll fit that. Okay, so now what I need to do is find something that'll fit just the outer part of this, just so I can push it in more. What I used over here was what, a 30? Yeah, a 30. So I need something between 30 and a 22 or 24, which I doubt I have. This is a 24. 27. Yeah, 27 will work. So try 27. And that's it. That's in all the way. So now you see that little lip around. I don't know if you guys can tell, but this is pushed all the way in. Spins freely. Now this is my first time rebuilding one, so hopefully this pump works. Got the new C-clip. I hate doing these. So the C clip is, I believe it's in. So just checking, make sure that it's not pulling out. So what I'll do next is just basically try to move the C clip a little bit just so that it's seated. And it is moving, so that means it is seated. Okay. So C-clips in. Just double checking. For some reason I can't tell. I am tweaking out right now. It's probably because I'm fasting. Okay, that's in. I don't want to mess with it. I know it's in, so that's in. So the next part for this, I'm gonna go ahead and install this bolt, which has this spring part to it. What I'm gonna do is apply a little bit of ATF. Now this one does not have an O-ring. You'll see like a little ledge over here that you would think that it goes like an O-ring would go in, but it does not. Actually, what I'll do is let me put a little bit, just a tiny bit. Shit. Here's what I don't recall is if this piece okay, I don't know what's going on here. Everything is a mess. Doesn't want to come out. I have a feeling that this needs to be going down. Alright, let me figure this out really quick, guys. Put this on hold. I think I may have installed this backwards. Alright, so I got that piece out. I gotta look at the diagram and see exactly how that goes. So that'll probably be towards the end, which is, doesn't stop the other installation process. So I want to continue this. The next step is to make sure you install this. Also, make sure you don't lose these little pieces. There should be a total of 10. To install this, make sure you line this up, and it does give you I think they all give you a number. Mine's actually a 3. Do not flip this the other way because it will get stuck. And also be careful when you install this. So number 3, just make sure that it looks, when you go to install it, you have a proper facing of it, because if you were to try to install like a different way, it will get stuck. It will be very hard to pull it out. And then this I haven't had a chance to clean. And does have a number 3. So facing up, actually let me grease. I should use ATF actually. Of course, I'm getting all the grease on my phone. Okay, so the next part is I need to clean these out as well. These have a small smooth side and also a rough side, flat. Basically, this is a flat. I don't know if you can tell in the camera. And then this one is a smooth side. Like it's almost like a book. Like it folds a little bit. Like it's easier to see in person than it may be in the camera. So keep that in mind. The smooth side goes out and just slides in. So make sure that when you go to install these, the smooth side goes out. So that's the smooth side. Smooth side. And I'll confirm again later on by rotating it and make sure that I see the smooth side compared to a rough side. I'm just going to call it rough and smooth. Almost looks like a book. And now what happens if you were to install this wrong? Honestly, I don't know. And there is one missing. It's just not my day today. And I found the other one. Okay, so that's all in. What I'm gonna do next is take these O-rings out so that this one goes up here, the other one goes inside. Now, if you were to get this kit online, like I did, the Rockauto kit, you get 2 O-rings, the same size as this. This other O-ring goes on this piece. See that? It goes right there. So keep that in mind. This O-ring goes on that. So I'm going to keep this inside here for now. Put this in here. Is this... See, that one's a little thicker than this. Okay. And this just sits like this, I believe. Yep. See the opening? It lines up with, it's like a open and then open right here. So keep that in mind when you take it out. You see that little 2 things right there? Just slaps right on, and this is for some reason coming out. So that's that. Then you have your gasket, which I believe doesn't really have an orientation of it. Sits like that. And then this is your, I don't even know what they call this. So it's just like that. Okay, let me just clean this. Now I already cleaned the majority of these parts already. I just double clean everything. As a precaution. And then actually, I was supposed to double check those fins again, but that's pretty much it. So that pretty much how it goes back on, and then I just got to figure out that and put that both that in. So I'll do that in later today, and I'll record that process. But let me just double check. Okay, I guess this is supposed to come out. Sorry guys, I'm like dragging this out because I like to double check everything. That just sits there. Let me just confirm this. Okay, so that looks good to me. O-rings on here. The long bolts go up here. Short bolts go down here. That, my friend, is how it's done. So now what I need to do is figure that one out, piece out how it goes back in, and then I'll record that process, and then that's pretty much it. I'm gonna go ahead, spray some brake cleaner out here. It's getting a little greasy. But that's pretty much it. I'll record the rest of the process once I confirm that piece. So stay tuned. Hey guys, so I did some little bit of research on this particular piece, the spring, and then I believe this is like a high pressure valve or something like that, how it goes back in here. So with a little quick Google search, I had it originally correct, and I just have to change out this O-ring. This is the old O-ring. So let's do this really quick. Or not. Okay, I'll just poke myself. Okay, for some reason I can't get this. I don't know what's going on with me. Okay, so I had to turn the camera off for a second because I was struggling with the O-ring. Finally got it on. So all O-rings are out, and I put new O-ring on this one, and then I put a little bit of fluid around it just so that it seals properly. And I believe you just gotta push it. Yep, there you go. So see, it's in there, and then you just gotta tighten it. And I believe the torque spec for this particular bolt is, and I'll show you guys in a second. I just want to double check. See, it's got a good play, meaning like the spring is going back up and down, like. And this is a 22 millimeter, so now as for torque spec, a couple of things I want to talk to you guys about the torque spec. And this is the diagram spring, that piece, and then what I guess a valve, flow control valve, and then a pressure port. So that's how it goes. Torque specs. So there's one particular torque spec that I was confused about, which is this one right here, 61 pounds. And it says to coat a new O-ring with the power steering fluid, blah, blah, blah. And I believe this is the bolt. And I believe this is getting torqued to 61. And then there's two other torque spec that I was a little confused about. It said front side bolts and rear side bolts, which is 19 and 12. So I don't know if the shorter bolts are front side and the longer bolts are rear side. Like, I'm a bit confused. So I might just, shorter bolts, I might just do 12 or 9, and then the longer ones 12. But I do got to take this out, and I'll explain why. So let me take this out. So on the Toyota's manual, it said, remember I mentioned about the number 3 on the, this is the, on the right here. So let me put this in here, and I gotta still take this out. So let me put this in before I forget. Take this out, or ring has to go on here. Take this out. This piece right here, this rotating piece right here, also has a number, and I have to take this out in order to make sure that I have the orientation correct, because I don't know if this is backwards or not. So try to see if I can wiggle this out. See that? So I did have it right. So it's number 3 right there. I don't know if you guys can tell on the camera. So I had it facing upwards correctly, and then you have number 3 right here as well. So mark 3 and mark 3 on this side. So just keep that in mind when you're doing the installation. You have everything facing correctly and install correctly. Let me see if I can get this back on here. Okay, that's back on there. And this back on here. Get this O-ring correctly on here as well, because some reason it's coming out. Of course it is. Okay, O-rings on there. The other O-rings on here as well. Get this piece on here. Gasket. As well as this. And then let's get this bad boy back on here. I believe go like this. Oh, shit. The longer bolts go on top. Shorter bolts go on bottom. Way I'm facing it. So that's basically the installation. I'm gonna go ahead and brake clean a little bit on the outside because it just got a little greasy, but that's pretty much it, guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and torque the long bolts 12, and then these little guys 9. I think that's what these torque specs are. It says torque the 3 bolts, which I don't understand why there's 3, but it's actually 4. But it says front side bolts 9 and the rear side bolts 12. So a bit confused on this part, and as well as this one as well, the 61. But I'm pretty sure it is this bolt right here. It's 61, and then this other one, which is on here. This one small bolt. I'm going to be using a PHR valve. This is basically a feed that goes into the power steering pump, and then a high pressure valve, which is this, shoots out into the steering rack. So I believe this one is 9. Let me see if I have it in here. I guess not, but I do recall seeing this as either a 9 or 12. So keep that in mind. So I'd rather just do like right in between of it, between 9 and 12. So just do like 10 and a half if you want, or 11, just to play it safe. But that's pretty much it, guys. This is the rebuild video of the power steering pump. It's my first time doing it, and as I took it apart and installing it back, I found things to make sure that we check. Normally when we go put stuff back, we don't normally check how it goes back, and so hopefully this installation video helps you guys. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope this helps.